the HBC, presented by Chick-fil-A. Visit our locations on Forest Drive and Two Notch Road. When you tailgate, punt the burger, ask the chicken. And by James W. Smith Real Estate at the beach. Ask about our Gamecock off-season special.
You know, Coach, first of all, I want to thank you so much for doing this series with us this year. We think it's given some folks a little different perspective on you as a coach and a person. And I guess my first question, last game of this regular season, major rivalry, does that get your adrenaline a little higher heading into this week?
Well, I think our team certainly has rebounded in the last 3 weeks. We had that heartbreaking game here with Tennessee, as you know. And to come back and beat Florida and then beat a pretty good South Alabama team last week just gives us some confidence getting bowl eligible. It would have been a very disappointing year without these 6 wins. So right now we feel good that we can go play with Clemson. Very good team, #1 defense in the country, as we all know now. But we got to really play well. We didn't play our best against South Alabama. But overall, as a team, we sort of feel good about ourselves, regardless of all the stuff that's happened during the course of the season.
And becoming bowl eligible, that means a lot of things in a lot of different ways, and recruiting, all of that, doesn't it, Coach?
Yeah, a lot of people think, well, you know, here's a team that's won 11 games 3 years in a row, and they're sort of celebrating that 6th win. And I just believe in life sometimes you got to celebrate your small victories. And this is a small victory for our team because we have had some heartbreak this year, didn't play very well in the latter part of some games. But to get that 6th win is, you know, hey, we're bowl eligible. That means you've had a decent year.
How much do you insert yourself into where the Gamecocks are going to play in the bowl games? Or, I mean, I know you're focused on Clemson, but do you get involved in that at all?
I don't think we have much say-so at all now. Several years ago, 2 or 3 bowls would call up and, hey, how many people can you bring and how fired up are you coming to our bowl and so forth. I really believe the SEC office, they sort of designate where everybody goes, I think, starting this year. So we don't have a lot of choice. Sometimes maybe one bowl gets first pick and so forth, but they work it out pretty much. We always just, you know, hope to go somewhere south where it's warm, I guess. But if we go north or go to Charlotte or wherever, that would be fine also.
Obviously, you know, getting back to Clemson, it's Clemson week. How do you, with your team, control all the outside noise, the rivalry, everybody talking about the game just for your team?
Yeah, we try not to pay too much attention to all of that. I've always believed history doesn't have too much to do with the game coming up. Every game stands on its own merit. The team that prepares the best during the week and plays the game the best is going to win it. We all know that. So our concentration's being on let's get ready to really play the game well and see what happens. Obviously, our last game we had 5 turnovers. We haven't had that since I can remember. But our defense got 5, which was key to us winning the last game. But we got to play a lot smarter on offense, and hopefully on defense we got to go up there and stop the run. We haven't stopped a lot of run games that well this year, so that's going to be a big key.
You know, Coach, just with here it is rivalry week and you're preparing for it, but also you got Thanksgiving right here in the middle of it. How does that change your week?
Oh, it's changed completely, but it certainly hadn't bothered us the last 5 or 6 years before this last game. Oh, it's all different. Tuesday night we have a team dinner at Sewell, sort of a Thanksgiving dinner. The coaches, wives, and kids are all there along with the players. And then Thursday we have a luncheon with the Epworth Children's Home kids. They all come, and our players enjoy doing that. And then we try to make sure all of our players have somewhere to go Thursday evening, watch football, and maybe go over to assistant coaches' houses and so forth. And then we come back Friday and practice a little bit, get on the bus, go to Greenville, get up early in the morning and go to Clemson and get ready for a 12 noon kickoff. But I think all of us like the noon kickoffs a lot better than those 7:30 games. That really messes up your weekend when you get home at 3 or 4 in the morning.
And their fans have a little less time to enjoy.
Yeah, I think it won't be quite as loud maybe at noon. We played the Gators at noon, and it seemed to work out down there for us somehow.
Okay. Yeah, and you talked about the other day. Is it just because you get out there, you get up, and you just go play? Is that you can pinpoint why the successes come from the noon games?
No, there's no particular reason. Maybe it just worked out that way. But I think a lot of teams, enjoy the noon game. You don't sit around all day waiting and so forth, and then you can watch the night games, all the other games that are important in college football.
You came into this year touting the state of South Carolina for their football. You've been around rivalries quite a bit. How do you see this rivalry? Obviously, you're the head coach, but do you think this rivalry stacks up with some of the best in the country?
Oh, certainly I think it's one of the best. I think every state thinks their state has the best rivalry, I guess, in the country. But, yeah, this is a good one. It goes back over 100 years, 115 or whatever. So there's a lot of bragging rights for a year, and we've been fortunate the last several years. But again, every game stands on its own merit, I believe, and we need to go up there and really play smart, play well, take care of the ball, don't give them anything. If we do those kind of things, we've got a chance.
I know we talked about #1 ranking a couple weeks ago with Coastal Carolina, but you took time out of your day yesterday to call Dawn Staley and congratulate her on being #1. You know how great it is to reach #1. Why'd you reach out to her?
Well, first time our girls basketball is #1 in the nation ever. Yeah. And I also called Shelly Smith, who beat, they beat North Carolina in soccer, women's soccer. Yeah. And I also called our golf coach, Kaylin. Yeah. They were #1 or #2 in women's golf in the country. And the message I said, you women coaches are kicking the butt of us men coaches. Us men don't have much to brag about right now. We got 3 of the women's sports that are right there best in the country. So it's really neat. Proud of them, yeah.
And, finally, academically, the news just came out today. They're going to honor you for what y'all do in the classroom. What does it say about your program that you've got 10 straight bowl seasons and then 90% of your kids are graduating?
Well, it says Maria Hickman, who's head of our academic office, does a super job. She and all the academic advisors that work under her. They're really good, and they make sure our guys are going to class, going to study hall, tutoring, and keeping up. And, yeah, we're proud of what our players have done, and there's a few that need to pick up the pace, but not that many. 90% or more of our players really do an excellent job.
As Glenn said, it's open. Thank you for your time, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Off the Field with the HBC, presented by Chick-fil-A. Visit our locations on Forest Drive and Two Notch Road. When you tailgate, punt the burger, ask the chicken. And by James W. Smith Real Estate at the beach. Ask about our Gamecock off-season special.